artist confronts his childhood friend and business associate about a music production deal that hit a sour note.
He just stopped. He didn't want to continue with the contract at all.
Sometimes when I called him, someone else would answer the phone and tell me, oh, he's busy at the moment, I hear music in the background or whatever. So I'd be like, why can't he answer?
What was the final breakdown in communication between the two of you? How did we end up here in court?
And later, Judge Faith invites an expert to testify in court.
So at this time, I'd like to ask hip-hop legend Kool Moe Dee to come to the witness stand.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff J. Sky Mooring says he paid the defendant to release 3 mixtapes, but only 1 was put out. He's suing for unreleased mixtapes, payment for music streaming, unfinished artwork, and incomplete marketing. Defendant DJ Young Sean Evans says he doesn't owe any money because he spent the money helping to promote J. Sky's project. He's countersuing for slander, defamation of character, and lost wages.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Mooring versus Evans.
Thank you, Juan. J. Sky Mooring?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant, DJ Young Sean Evans?
Yes, Your Honor.
For $4,500 you say he owes you for unreleased mixtapes, payment for music streaming, unfinished artwork, and incomplete marketing?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you have a countersuit, sir, for $2,500 for slander, defamation of character, and lost wages.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So as I understand it, the two of you are from Jackson, Mississippi.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
you are an artist and you're a DJ.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why don't I start with you, Mr. Moore? Give me some background on you and how you know the defendant.
Well, Your Honor, I met DJ Young Sean when I was younger at the Boys and Girls Club. You know, we were just kids playing around, and we both had a feel for music, and we liked the music, so that made our bond click or whatever. And as we grew, when I said, wait, he became a DJ and I was an artist, and we still kept in contact and things of that nature. And I would see him in the studio and he would see how I was working, and I would see what he would be doing, and I liked how he was working, and I guess he liked how I was working. So around October of 2015, we came together and he asked me, could he do one of my mixtapes and put it out? Well,
okay, so let's back up for a second. What kind of music do you do?
I sing and I rap.
Okay, and you are a DJ. What specifically do you do for work?
I do mixtapes and promotion.
Okay, so in 2015, you actually hired him to do work for you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about that.
Okay, Your Honor, well, I got with him and I told him about the work that I was doing and the type of music I was making, and I felt like it was gonna be good for the city and make the city shine brighter. So I knew he had a couple connections and people he could network with. I looked at it like, by myself, I can only reach so far. And with him being on these certain sites and letting me know he could get my mixtape on certain sites, I felt like it would be good for both of us.
Did the two of you enter into a written contract?
We actually did, and I have the contract right here. It was for $4,500.
So you paid him $4,500.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you agree to that?
Yes, I have a contract.
He paid you $4,500? Okay. Here's the contract. He pays you the entire $4,500. January comes, and you give him the first mixtape? Mm-hmm. And what happens? I
sent him all of the songs for it, and we even picked a single to put out before the mixtape.
So you sent him the songs, and he's going to create the mixtape.
Mm-hmm. And what he does is add drops to his, like puts his name on it, basically just stamp it.
And then he's supposed to put it up on these 3 websites.
Yes.
And as I understand it, January comes around, and this one mixtape that you have only goes up on Spinrilla,
yes,
not the other 2 websites, and that's when the entire breakdown happens, right? Yes. So what happened? Why did you only put the first mixtape up on Spinrilla? What happened to live mixtapes and my mixtapes?
See, what a lot of people don't understand doing what I do, the competition of the sites, they don't like people going here and going there. I had a relationship with the first, site or whatnot, and they started falling off. I couldn't grow, so I went to Spinrilla. And they gave me more access to do a lot of stuff and to help, artists like J. Sky in my city, so I started messing with them real strong. But my mixtapes never contacted me back. So when I tried to explain that to Sky, he didn't want to hear it. Like I told him, it was like, it's nothing I could do about it. I just fell out with this website, you know, and what I could do is give you 2 more, you know, days on the banner of Spinrilla, which is, you know, top page, which I have evidence that I, you know, have it up here.
So that's basically promotion on Spinrilla.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
you had gotten him a banner on
2 more extra
Spinrilla.
days, which costs $300 a day, so that's $600 out the original budget, which really comes out of my money because it's not already.
Let me see this. Okay, so this is the banner with, okay, Jay Sky. Is that your Instagram, Sky So High?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that was a promotion that would be on Spinrilla, and you were telling him, I can get you this banner extra days.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you weren't satisfied with that.
Your Honor, I was not satisfied at all.
Coming up, the guys take their trash talking to social media.
He wrote, I'll never cap, stunt, front, or lie in general to make me look better or above. Well, that did get 4 retweets. What are you saying, that he was subtweeting you because you aren't mentioning these text messages?
He had to be.
How do you know that?
Plaintiff J. Sky Mooring says his childhood friend, DJ Young Sean Evans, took his money, then cut off communications. He's suing for unreleased mixtapes, payment for music streaming, unfinished artwork, and incomplete marketing. Defendant DJ Young Sean Evans says he doesn't owe any money because he did his best to promote J. Sky's project. He's countersuing for slander, defamation of character, and lost wages.
I just feel like we shouldn't have made the contract and signed it with this stating we were gonna do this and that if it wasn't gonna happen.
Had the two of you worked together before?
Yeah, we have.
And you've paid him before to do work for you and he's performed satisfactorily?
Yes. But it was just bigger this time, Your Honor, because I was actually going on a run where I felt like I was gonna put out mixtape month after month just to keep a constant rotation of new music out, because it's kind of harder for indie artists to get out there and get their attention because everybody's rapping nowadays. So,
So it was important to you to have a 3-month run.
Yes, Your
And
Honor,
this is not happening in January. So what happens?
He basically went on a rant. He went on Twitter and was saying, you know, I have evidence of this. He was saying certain stuff. I got a few calls. I also have a voicemail that I got from a client. He left, which I have that too. He was just, and that's a $2,000 voicemail, Your Honor. I
What do you
lost
mean?
$2,000. That's my countersuit. The contract with him was $2,000, and he called me. He was like, "I heard how you did Sky. You know, it's the word around the city. Da 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 da."
Jackson is a small town.
It got around.
And you're blaming him for that? What are you saying, that he was subtweeting you because you aren't mentioning these text messages?
He had to be.
Your Honor.
How do
I
you
didn't
know that?
say his name not
These
once.
text messages are from March and April. He wrote, I'll never cap, stunt, front, or lie in general to make me look better or above. Just know I could. Well, that did get 4 retweets. But
Can
you think
can
he's
play the
talking about
voicemail,
you?
Your Honor?
You think he's talking about
Where
you?
did the voicemail come from? Can you play it?
Who's the voicemail from?
From the client.
Let's hear the voicemail.
Hey, what to do, your Shirley Z? Hey, man, I know we supposed to have this tape. I heard how you and Scott situation went. I really don't feel like comfortable doing business with you right now at the moment, you feel me? But when the boys down to you, feel me? I appreciate all your time, all your advice. I'm talking about, maybe we'll just link again in the future or something, but just right now, though, you know what I'm saying? I got other things going. I see you got other things going, so we'll just leave it at that. Appreciate you, bro.
Okay. So he said he heard about the situation between you and Sky. He didn't say
What
Sky
does that have
told
to
him
do with me is
anything.
what I'm trying to figure out, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if he heard, who else would he have heard it from?
I have no idea. There are more than the 2. I know Jackson is a small town, but there are more than the 2 of you who live there.
Yeah, but
Other
the word
people
would
could
have
be
never
talking.
got out, Your Honor, if Scott didn't never say anything about it. Who else supposed to know about
What's
this
wrong with him
other
talking
than
about it?
Well, to
What's
be
wrong with him
honest, yeah,
discussing it?
because it's slander,
I told
Your
him he
Honor.
did me
There's
wrong, Your
that's
Honor.
not slander. It's not slander.
To be
you
honest.
you don't like it because you think it makes you look bad. But if he has an opinion about something
Facts, Your Honor.
and he's stating what are facts to him, that doesn't equal slander just because it skews negatively against you, perhaps.
Your Honor, he knows what I do. Like, I'm always performing. I have a picture of me performing right here. I'm always doing shows, and he knows this. He's seen me do this and that.
Y'all
So it's
want
like
you want your Instagram account up. Let me see the
pretty
Instagram
much.
photo.
It's just like once I once I set forth, like I'm gonna do something, I wanna make sure that I do it. So when they come to me and they don't see that I'm putting out 3 mixtapes like I told people, it kind of makes me look bad and my credibility goes down the drain.
What was the final breakdown in communication between the two of you? How did we end up here in court? Did you ask him for your money back? What happened?
It's like I tried contacting him on and off so much, and like sometimes when I called him, someone else would answer the phone and tell me, oh, he's busy at the moment, I hear music in the background or whatever. It'll be like, like different females and just different stuff, people answering the phone. So I'd be like, why can't he answer? And we've known each other so long, so it was kind of confusing to me.
Here's what we're going to do. I actually asked a friend of mine who works in the music industry to listen in on the testimony here today. He is a hip-hop legend known all over the world. He was the first rapper to perform at the Grammys, first rapper to earn a Grammy. You may know him. He collaborated with several other major artists throughout his career. Will Smith, in his #1 hit, Wild Wild West, in 2015, he collaborated with Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, a song called Downtown featuring Eric Nally, Mel Mel, and Grandmaster Caz. So at this time, I'd like to ask hip-hop legend Kool Moe Dee to come to the witness stand. I'll ask him some questions about this case.
Coming up on Judge Faith, legendary hip-hop MC Kool Moe Dee provides the court with insight into the music business.
And I think in many cases as artists, sometimes we can get temperamental, and we can expect what we expect or whatever, but navigating through this industry has a lot to do with coming up against roadblocks and maneuvering around them.
Plaintiff J. Sky Mooring says DJ Young Sean Evans breached their contract when he only released 1 of 3 mixtapes. He's suing for unreleased mixtapes, payment for music streaming, unfinished artwork, and incomplete marketing. Defendant DJ Young Sean Evans says he doesn't owe any money because J. Sky refused to give him the rest of the music for the mixtapes. He's countersuing for slander, defamation of character, and lost wages. And now, court is back in session with expert witness, hip-hop legend Kool Moe Dee.
Thank you so much for being here.
No problem.
I really appreciate it. Have you listened to the testimony today in the case?
Yes, it's almost like looking at it at home, yelling at the TV. So
Okay. Okay, so I'd like to ask you your opinion because this is a case where the plaintiff hired the defendant to release these 3 mixtapes on these 3 websites. And the first mixtape, it didn't happen. It only happened on one website, and that was Spinrilla. So can you talk about the significance of him providing that first mixtape, paying $4,500, which is a lot of money for a young artist, right? Paying $4,500, only providing that one mixtape, and then things just breaking down from there.
the main thing I hear through this, communication is the key. Because kind of like what the defendant is saying, things go wrong in the industry. I mean, there's certain things, I can go all the way back to 1988. We're doing a record called Self-Destruction, trying to do something positive in the community, and Warner Brothers wouldn't let Big Daddy Kane be on the record. And all MCs wanted to be on the record. So a lot of times business gets in the way. So things that you think you have set up may not come through because, they get very, very myopic and very territorial about who does what and who can do what. So I understand what he's saying in that sense. However, the communication, in my opinion, is totally on the defendant because once things break down, to me, I think a lot of things could be settled if you call him immediately when you find out those websites are not going to do what they're going to do or do what you thought you could do. Call the plaintiff and ask him, how do you want to proceed? This didn't happen the way I thought it would, X, Y, Z, because that's the honorable way to do it. And I think in many cases as artists, sometimes we can get temperamental and we could expect what we expect or whatever, but things absolutely happen in the mix. So I think in all honesty, if they communicated before then, it's really on the defendant to say to the plaintiff, listen, man, this is not going to be able to happen, X, Y, Z. How do you want to proceed from here? I can do X, Y, Z. And they can amend what's written on contract because there's the letter of the law and there's the spirit of the law. If you want to do the letter of the law, he's not doing what he said he delivered.
Right.
If you want to do the spirit of the law, have a communication and say, what can I do to help you make this better and what makes it right for you? Because it's kind of on him at that point.
What do you think about the plaintiff not wanting to continue to work with the defendant once he couldn't deliver on those 3 sites?
I understand it from a temperamental space or whatever. especially if you think there's tweets going on and you think he's undermining your name and all that. I get the emotional side of it, but job one, if I took somebody's money and something doesn't go the way I said it would go, my thing is to call you and say, how do you want to proceed? Because that's kind of, again, the spirit of how you get things done, especially as an artist too. You'll find out, even with bigger labels and bigger companies, they don't deliver on a lot of stuff that they say. So you have to always be in a position and mindful that navigating through this industry has a lot to do with coming up against roadblocks and maneuvering around them without it being exactly what they said on paper many times.
I have one more question for you. Technology has obviously changed a lot about how people release music. And is it crucial now that people have access, especially independent artists? Is it especially crucial for them to get their music out through these types of websites and social media?
Especially, which is why I understand why they made the deal in the first place, because he's actually, quote unquote, on the come up, and he's trying to get something to happen. And DJs in many cases are in those positions where they have access that a lot of newer artists may not have. And believe me when I tell you, even again, I use major labels and the old infrastructure, it's totally different, but you still need an army of people to make one artist happen.
If you could go back to when you were their age and starting up in the industry, what's one lesson you would tell your younger self?
Oh, definitely. Don't sign any contract without reading them. We're of that era where nobody believed this would actually happen. We're talking, dating myself, 1980, 1981, where the whole industry thought that this was a fad. And they said, who is ever gonna pay anybody to get up on stage and talk without a band and pay you money? And we look 40 years later, you got Jay-Z and Dr. Dre, almost billionaires. So I would say read all the contracts and also try to take ownership of your career and kind of direct it the way you see as opposed to letting other people just do what they want to do with it.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming today. Cool. Thank you. Thank you.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
So first, let me deal with your counterclaim for slander and defamation of character. You have not provided me with any evidence that the plaintiff did anything to defame your character. You may have lost some business through people talking in the community in Jackson. You still can't pinpoint anything specific. Your best evidence are subtweets where you aren't even mentioned, but I think you're taking them personally because I think you feel guilty. I think it's a guilty conscience. So your counterclaim for slander and defamation of character is dismissed. I'm ordering you to return some of the money that he paid you when he hired you to release these 3 mixtapes. Only one was released on one website. What is that worth? I'm going to credit, for your work on that one mixtape, I'm going to credit you $750. That leaves a remaining balance of $3,750 that I'm ordering you to return to the plaintiff. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff, $3,750. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you. Kool Moe Dee came out, it was just like a shock. Like, this somebody when I was young, like, he was doing music before I was even born. So just to see him come out here and him give me that advice is just a good experience, and I won't forget that.
Kool Moe Dee said when stuff come up, I should have, immediately contacted this guy, which I didn't, but I did do right after the fact. And, he a legend, so I'm gonna always listen to a legend.